Back on Earth, Kong reminded Sihyun that she hadn't forgotten anything. He warned her that if she left something behind he wouldn't bother mailing it to her. Hearing this, Sihyun complained that he was being extremely stingy. Kong, already annoyed, asked if she even understood how far the post office was from their place. While adjusting her luggage, Sihyun told him that she was heading out now. She gave him a small wave, and Kong, standing outside the restaurant with his arms crossed, told her to go ahead. Then Sihyun knelt down to pat Rice Cake. Hugging him tightly, she told him through tears to take care and said that she would miss him very much. She even added that if Kong ever gave him a hard time, he should come straight to her. Rice Cake began crying too, making small whimpering sounds. Tori, who was invisible to her, and standing behind Kong, noticed how affectionate she was toward Rice Cake. He commented that her attitude toward Rice Cake was completely different. Sihyun told him that if he wanted the same reaction, he should try being as cute as Rice Cake. Kong muttered that such a request was utterly impossible. Rice Cake, meanwhile, was still distracted, looking around for snacks. Tori, lying on the ground, wondered aloud if he would get any cuddles at all. Kong kept Rice Cake steady on the ground while Sihyun remarked that thanks to them, she had enjoyed a good rest over the past few days, but now she had to get ready to return to work. Kong gave her a strange look, and she commented that unlike someone she knew, she was about to become very busy. Kong sighed and said that it was because she was the famous pastry chef, Lee Se-yun, whose career was moving forward smoothly. Sihyun pointed at him proudly, agreeing that she was just getting started and planned to create a new legend for herself. Kong closed his eyes with a gentle smile and said that having passion was good, but she shouldn't let her enthusiasm run too far ahead of her. He reminded her that her chosen line of work was not easy. Thinking back to his own past work experiences, Kong explained that both work and relationships would probably be harder than she expected. He told her there would be moments when she felt angry, treated unfairly, or disappointed, and that real life might not be as beautiful as she had imagined. He added that she might end up crying more often for a while. Sihyun pointed at him again, saying that his words were perfect for her situation. Standing tall, she declared that every main character has to face hardships because that is what starts the story of their growth. With the sun shining directly above them, she smiled and said that a hero only shines after making it through all their trials. Kong tilted his head and smiled back, telling her that with that mindset she would be just fine. Then Kong reminded her to hurry, saying that the bus only came once every 4 hours and that missing it would be terrible. Startled, Sihyun suddenly remembered the bus schedule. She rushed to leave, shouting that she understood and was going. Then she paused, realizing she still had a little time left. Kong called her name, telling her, "Lee Sihyun." She answered with a surprised "ha." Kong then told her that if she ever became exhausted from working too hard, she could always return to this place to rest. Rice Cake and Tori brightened at his words. Sihyun turned around and told him that she would come back if she felt like it. With that, she continued down the road toward the bus stand and left. Back in the other world, Rice Cake is wandering through the forest at a slow, relaxed pace. As he walks, he suddenly notices Tori standing still and staring at something with full attention. Rice Cake also stops, moves closer to Tori, and looks in the same direction, silently wondering what has caught Tori's interest. Then he sees it clearly. A strong muscular rabbit and a plump fluffy rabbit are standing together, though they are looking in different directions as if trying to act casual. The male rabbit, who looks especially sturdy, picks up 3 purple flowers shaped like small people. Then he kneels down in front of the female rabbit and proposes to her. Tori looks thrilled by the scene, but Rice Cake watches the couple with a strange, confused expression. Behind them, Kong is practicing martial arts while carrying a huge log on his back, sweating heavily. Noah observes him and comments that one log doesn't seem enough and he might be able to add another one. Kong, completely worn out, reminds Noah in a desperate voice that he is actually a chef and not a warrior. Finally, Kong drops the log and collapses on the ground, fainting from exhaustion. Noah calmly says that this will be enough for today and praises him for the effort. Emilia also thanks him for his hard work. With his eyes closed, Kong groans that he desperately wants to soak in a hot bath. Emilia leans close to him and asks what a bathhouse is. Kong explains that it is a place where people fill a large tub with hot water and sit in it together to relax. He then asks if they have anything like that here. Emilia and Noah exchange a glance. After thinking for a moment, Emilia says she has heard that humans developed that kind of bathing culture. She adds that fairies wash themselves by using the power of spirits instead. Noah explains that beastmen wash quickly with cold water out in the wild because warriors can't afford to relax for too long and therefore rarely bathe. Still lying on the ground, Kong sounds surprised, and says that soaking in a hot bath feels wonderful at times like this. Emilia then asks softly if he would like to go somewhere like that. Kong, suddenly excited, lifts his head and asks what she means. Smiling, Emilia tells him that there is a place that matches his description exactly. Some time later, the sun stands high above the forest, shining brightly through the leaves. Kong follows Emilia and becomes flustered when he sees what she is showing him, a natural waterfall pouring steaming hot water into a large pool. He asks in disbelief if it is really a hot spring. Amazed, he thinks that he has never seen such a big hot spring before and wonders at the fact that even this world has them. Then the familiar smell reaches him, and he recognizes it instantly. Turning around with a joyful voice, he says it has been ages since he visited a sulfur hot spring. Emilia smiles and says she does not know what sulfur is, but she is glad he likes the place. She explains that this hot spring appeared not too long ago, and that their patrol team purified it because the gas was too strong at first. She says that the timing worked out well, as it is safe to visit now. Just then, Kong notices something odd and asks why Noah and Ricecake are hiding behind a tree. Mona is with them too, and all three are shaking. Emilia glances at them and explains with a small laugh that beastmen have very sensitive noses and the smell here is not exactly pleasant for them. In a teasing tone, she adds that she can reduce the smell more if they want. Kong gives an awkward smile and comments that he is not sure if they all get along very well. Irritated, Noah quickly says there is no need and that they will get used to it. Kong walks closer to the waterfall, kneels on one knee and rolls up one sleeve. When he touches the water, he feels a sudden wave of pleasure and thinks it feels like heaven. He then folds up his pants and dips his legs into the hot spring. Tori and Ricecake come near him, curious. Ricecake lets out a questioning howl. Emilia watches Kong and says he looks extremely satisfied. Noah, still trembling slightly behind her, mutters that it is nothing special, even though he clearly struggles with the smell. Relaxing in the warm water, Kong says that it feels even more refreshing because of how much he trained earlier. Ricecake carefully touches the water with his paws. Kong sighs in relief and adds that if a hot spring like this existed near his home, he would visit it every day. Emilia hears this and quietly thinks about it. Then she mentions that some fairies enjoy this kind of thing, though she herself has never tried it. Ricecake seems delighted as he splashes the water lightly, and Tori watches him with curious eyes. Kong tells Emilia that if she tries bathing in the hot spring even once, she will surely fall in love with it. Then an idea suddenly strikes him. He turns around to face her and asks if she would like to try experiencing a bit of human culture. The next day, Aura walks slowly along the forest path. She thinks to herself that her sister had asked her to come here, but she still doesn't really understand what her sister meant when she mentioned a cultural experience. As usual, the small lime-colored spirit bird rests comfortably on top of her head, fluttering its wings from time to time. After a few steps, Aura suddenly stops because she notices someone standing ahead of her. She looks closely and asks if it is Kang Hyun. He answers that it is him and lifts his head a little in greeting. He is wearing a bath-style head bandana, the kind that looks almost like something from a hot spring. With an easy smile, he tells her that she is welcome here. Aura becomes flustered and, unable to hide her surprise, asks why he is dressed like that and what is going on with his unusual outfit. Kong stood up, dressed in shorts and a bathrobe, with a hat on his head. Aura thought to herself that she had never seen clothes like that before, not even during her travels or in any of the books she had read. She commented that his outfit looked very unique. Kong replied confidently that he had brought the clothes so everyone could wear them together. He then pulled out another outfit of the same kind and told Aura that there was one for her as well, adding that it would be awkward to try it on while she was wearing her usual clothes. Aura responded awkwardly that she was fine as she was, but before she could say more, Emilia appeared behind her, placed a hand on her shoulder, and told her not to ignore someone's good intentions. Aura looked at her sister in surprise and asked why she was wearing the outfit too. Emilia explained that she thought it would be fun, and that the outfit was surprisingly breathable and comfortable. Aura reluctantly said that if her sister approved of it, then she would trust her. Meanwhile, Noah was quickly carving a neck pillow out of wood, explaining that Kang Hyun had asked him to make it. Mona watched him curiously and let out a soft mawak. Ricecake and Tori were also there, wearing the outfits Kong had provided and working on neck pillows of their own. Aura thought in surprise that the outfit actually felt really comfortable. Kong picked up his backpack and asked if everyone was ready to go experience human culture, his eyes sparkling with excitement. Near the waterfall hot spring, Tori was bathing in a bowl floating on the pond. Beside him, everyone else was soaking in the hot spring with their eyes closed, relaxing. Emilia said she finally understood why humans enjoyed sitting in warm water. It felt as though both the body and mind were being healed. Kong agreed enthusiastically, saying that bathhouses were all about relaxation and recovery. Noah, however, sat stiffly in the hot spring and murmured that it was not ba-dee, even though he clearly did not look comfortable. Mona, unable to handle the strong sulfur smell, hid behind a tree far from the group while holding her nose. Aura noticed that Mona wanted to join them but just couldn't tolerate the odor. Understanding this, Aura called her spirit bird Sophie. Sophie used spirit magic to wash away the smell of sulfur around them. Mona let out a surprised "Moi?" Emilia noticed what Aura had done and teasingly praised her, saying Aura was as thoughtful as ever. Aura responded in an expressionless tone, asking what Emilia meant. Mona and Rice Cake began dancing happily, celebrating that the smell was finally gone. Mona jumped excitedly toward the spring, shouting that she wanted to join too. But the moment her finger touched the hot ground, she sprang back up and landed right on No's head with a loud hiss. No's head was pushed underwater, and Mona scrambled away. A special cold bath was then prepared just for Mona and Rice Cake. After a long steaming soak, Emilia, Noah, and Aura lay on the ground with towels covering their eyes. Mona came over to inspect them curiously. Aura slowly sat up and said that even a short time in the hot water made her whole body feel overheated. She glanced over at Kong, who was still in the water, relaxing comfortably and even humming a tune. She wondered aloud how he and the others could stay in the hot spring for so long. Kong, being a true survivor, seemed completely unaffected while the rest of them were already exhausted. Kong eventually stood up and declared that he felt completely refreshed. Aura, shocked, repeated the word refreshing in disbelief. She then looked up at the sky and muttered that human culture was truly strange. She admitted that at least she had learned something new about how humans bathed. Kong looked down at her with surprise and asked what she meant, saying that they were only just getting started. Aura, startled, asked what he was talking about. Kong explained cheerfully that since they had enjoyed the bath, the next step was to head to the sauna. The scene shifts to an area near a cave where warm water from a hot spring flows through the inside. Emilia, Kong, and the others stand at the cave's entrance. Emilia looks at it and wonders to herself that it is a cave. Kong explains that he had discovered it by accident the day before while he was exploring the area. Emilia walks inside and comments that the place feels surprisingly warm because the hot spring water passes through it, even though it is still a cave. Aura follows behind her, smiling but already sweating from the heat. Tori sits on Kang's shoulder while Kong explains that this warmth is exactly why he thought the place would be perfect. He tells them that a sauna is basically a bath that uses steam. Kong spreads a large piece of cloth on the ground inside the cave. After that, he sets down the neck pillow Noah made and an hourglass for keeping track of time. Then he gently picks up Tori and tells her he's counting on her. Tori smiles and uses her spirit powers. With a soft puff, a huge sand wall forms at the entrance of the cave, leaving only a narrow space for a door and a small window. Sunlight streams through these openings, lighting the inside with a warm glow. Kong announces that everything is ready. Mona immediately flops onto the cloth sheet, rolling around happily. Kong places a wool hat on Rice Cake's head, and Rice Cake lets out a confused little howl. Aura, Emilia, and Mona each receive a similar hat. Aura asks why they are wearing these strange hats, and Kong explains that wool hats are an important part of sauna fashion. With a cheerful tone, he encourages everyone to lie down and relax, telling them that after a bath, people are supposed to sweat everything out in the sauna. One by one, everyone lies down on the warm ground. Mona curls up on top of Aura as she drifts off. Kong watches them with a smile. Emilia turns her head to the side and notices how the temperature has risen even more now that the entrance is mostly blocked. Kong gently reminds Aura that the neck pillow is meant to go under her neck, not her head, because it will hurt otherwise. Emilia quietly thinks to herself that she has never tried sweating on purpose before. She finds it less uncomfortable than she imagined. In fact, the warmth feels pleasant to her, and she wonders if she actually likes saunas after all. But Aura eventually reaches her limit. She suddenly sits up and complains loudly that it is too hot. Mona, who is part of her team, seems bothered by the heat as well. Aura insists that she cannot take it any longer, and that the place feels suffocating. Tori relaxes on Kang's shoulder while Kong asks if Aura is serious. He explains that normally people stay inside until the hourglass empties. Then, with a teasing tone, he says that maybe it really is too difficult for children. Aura and Mona do not appreciate being treated like kids and their expressions show it. Kong says there is a cool cave area further inside, and if the heat is too much, they can wait there. Aura forces a confident look and claims that the hourglass empties too quickly for her. She suggests that maybe she can stay longer because she is an adult. Mona glances at the hourglass and notices it will take a long time to finish, causing her to make anxious, strange noises. Kong comments that everyone seems to be lasting quite well. When the hourglass finally reaches the end, he starts to say that if they want to continue, they can simply flip it over. But before he can finish the sentence, Aura and Mona sprint out of the cave as fast as they can, as if nothing else matters. Near another entrance, Aura wiped the sweat from her face and wondered aloud if all adults were monsters, asking how they could possibly endure so much. She was breathing heavily, and Mona looked just as exhausted. Mona let out a small "mawak," and when Aura turned her head, she noticed a pale purple cave nearby. The air coming from the cave was cold, so she stepped closer and looked around with wide, amazed eyes. She felt the cool breeze drying her sweat, and thought that it felt wonderfully refreshing. Mona happily ran inside, and Aura, delighted by the relief, murmured that it felt great. Kong suddenly appeared behind her and commented that it was refreshing, explaining that cooling down in an ice room after sweating was the best feeling. Aura repeated the words, "ice room," in confusion. Amelia had also come up quietly behind them. Kong added that simply cooling off wasn't enough. Inside, Mona froze in surprise when she noticed Rice Cake and Tori already sitting there, relaxing comfortably. They were guests who had been enjoying the cool room from the start. Kong cheerfully pulled out a pack of snacks and suggested that they should start restoring their energy soon. Rice Cake and Tori perked up with excitement. Kong also took out bottles of juice. After drinking, Aura exclaimed that she felt alive again. Amelia, equally pleased with her drink, asked what it was, saying that it tasted sweet and delicious. Kong explained that it was siki, a traditional drink made by fermenting grains, and that the floating grains inside were the fermented bits. Rice Cake, sitting on Kang's lap, stuck his head inside the bottle to lick the last drop, which made Tori worry as she watched him. Aura looked at the grains and commented in understanding. Mona picked up a baked egg and gave a cheerful "moi." Kong then instructed her that the best way to enjoy a baked egg was to crack it with her forehead, and encouraged her to try it. Mona seemed to understand, then suddenly smashed the egg straight onto Kang's forehead with surprising force, breaking it open and sending pieces everywhere. Kong cried out that she shouldn't use his forehead. Rubbing the spot, he told Mona she was stronger than she looked. Amelia laughed and asked if Kong was okay, reminding him that Mona was a young beastman and naturally strong. Rice Cake, seeing Mona's action as an attack on his friend and master, jumped forward to attack her, with Tori leaping off his back to join in. Kong, still holding his head, thought that as long as everyone was having fun it was fine. He closed his eyes, thinking that everyone seemed satisfied with the day's experience so far. Then he opened them again, and thought that there was still one more thing left for them to do. Meanwhile, Noah was still asleep near the hot spring. Half asleep, he muttered that it wasn't over yet, completely unaware that everyone had left him behind and that he had missed all the tasty snacks and relaxing steam baths.